Lamar did a good job, but I'm seeking reinforcements for next season. Put it that way.
The Dolphins turn the page on another 8-8 season. Everyone knows Joe Philbin's entering the final year of his contract. Dennis Hickey's beginning his second season as a Miami Dolphins general manager, and congratulations to him. I think he did a decent job.
He did.
Not great. Problem is, you signed injured players, injured free agents. What happened in the end of the year?
Finnegan, Marino. Yeah.
Albert had some injury histories. Obviously, it was a fluke issue.
Right.
And then my main criticism of his draft picks. What was it, Chris?
Of his draft picks?
Yes. Too many small school
players.
players.
The small, yeah.
I said the small school players wouldn't be ready to contribute.
Right.
Didn't you need some of them to contribute this year?
Yeah, you needed Billy Turner to contribute.
It didn't happen.
He let you down, yeah.
The goal moving forward should be to get to the playoffs, according to Steve Ross. What does Miami need to do in order for these Dolphins to get to the playoffs?
Boy, they've got to get some guys who know how to make this team better. Because again, you've got good players. You've got players.
You got decent players.
Well, decent
How many players have it?
That's the whole thing. Look, you tried with Brandon Marshall, with Carlos Dansby, with Reggie Bush, with a lot of these guys.
Under a different GM, under a different head coach.
But I'm just saying
under a different GM, this head coach is not very comfortable with those individuals.
No. But listen, a lot of these guys, they were good players, but they weren't able to elevate this team, and that's what this team still needs. You need a coach or some players who can elevate this team. Ryan Tannehill can't elevate the team. Cam Wake can't do it enough. Brent Grimes can't do it enough. You've got to find those guys somehow.
I agree with you from the standpoint there needs to be a talent infusion of players with alpha male personalities, but those are the people I'm comfortable with. Those are not the people that Joe Philbin is comfortable with. So here's the thing. You got to rebuild this defense. You got to fortify the offensive line. Last week in X's and Omar, I told you, I did a statistical study of the 5 games when Brandon Albert and Mike Pouncey were both on the offensive line together. Ryan Tannehill's quarterback rating is 97.5.
Right.
That is a good quarterback.
That's winning football.
That's winning football.
That's winning
now,
football.
I'm not going to say that it's going to make Ryan Tannehill have it, because I personally do not believe he has it.
Right.
He does not have the it intangible that can make his team better.
Exactly. And few
so
of these
you
players
agree?
do. Yes. No, I agree with that.
So when you send the hate mail, make sure you send it to Chris Perkins too.
Few of these players do. So that's just the way it goes. I'll tell you what. Listen. Who are the players who need to take that next step for the Dolphins to be good? The younger players.
Certainly Jarvis Landry. He's got to do a better job of basically getting extra yards, being more versatile, running better routes, taking the next step. And I certainly am curious to see what's going to happen with the Dolphins receiving core, whether or not Mike Wallace is going to be kept, whether or not Brian Hartline is going to be kept. A lot of things go. But then the entire defense. I don't see Randy Starks being back. I don't see Philip Wheeler being back. I don't see Ken Ellerby being back. You got to see Jelani Jenkins take that next step.
Hey, and look, Jamar Taylor and Will Davis. I mean, look, you talk about young players who have to come through. Walt Aikens is somebody who's probably going to have to do something. Terrence Fede, we'll see what can happen with a guy like Derek Shelby. Look, our boy OV really didn't do that much this year, did he?
He actually bottomed out at the end of the season where he wasn't much of a factor, and you got to hope that he takes it to the next level. Certainly, that's another player. Juwan James, Billy Turner. Shelley Smith. The offensive line needs to improve in order for them to be the team that they have the capabilities of being, and then also the defense. You got to build that. You got to rebuild the whole thing, man. You got to rebuild the whole thing. There are probably 5 pieces to this defense that I think are salvageable, keepable. OV, Wake, Jenkins, Grimes, Jones, Rashad Jones. That's it. I'm replacing 6 components.
Hey, now I'm bringing back Jimmy Wilson, though.
You are.
He's versatile. I mean, here's a guy who played nickel, safety, and cornerback for you.
And he's a good special teams player. Hey, I like Jimmy.
Exactly.
Jimmy didn't make plays for me this season, but I like Jimmy.
Yeah, he's usable. He's serviceable.
Yeah.
Our next question is going to come from William Knowles, and he wants to know which offense or defense in the first round of the NFL draft, which direction do you go, and who do you go after in free agency?
If Kevin Cole is back, I know he doesn't play defensive players. So I'm going with the offensive player. I am fortifying. Honestly, this whole 2015 season, just like 2014, is about Ryan Tannehill. I'm fortifying that offensive line. I'm going out and I'm not spending big money in free agency, but I'm drafting a Zach Martin. early in the first
Right.
round of
Who
the
made the
draft.
Pro Bowl this year.
Who made the Pro Bowl.
Right.
Dallas's
Dallas.
offensive line was off the hook.
Right.
There was one addition.
Yep.
Two players that I wanted in this draft, Zach Martin
Yep.
and C.J. Mosley.
Yep.
Both of them made that Pro Bowl.
Yep. Yep.
You got to go out and you got to get a player like that.
Yeah, and you're going to need two guards probably because Mike Pouncey, he's made no secret he wants to move back to center.
I don't think you need two guards. You've got Shelley Smith there. Shelley Smith was okay.
Yeah.
You've got Billy Turner. We haven't really seen, and then Dallas Thomas.
Yeah.
So you might need two guards.
Yeah, you might need two guards. In your opinion, who are the free agents who need to be re-signed? We just said Jimmy Wilson. We discussed J.O., Jared Odrick a little bit, that he's probably out of their price range, but who needs to come back? Charles Clay. Who do they need to
I think
re-sign?
Charles Clay is a priority.
Right.
I like what I saw from both of those tight ends.
Yep,
Deion
me
Sims
too.
showed you so much promise and progress. I believe Deion Sims, 24 catches for 284 yards, 2 touchdowns, and blocked like a grown man.
Right.
Blocked better than Anthony Fasano blocked
Yep.
back in his great days.
Yep.
I would love to see the continued development, but I still want Charles Clay there because he's
Yes.
versatile. When he's
Yes.
healthy, Charles Clay killed that seam.
Right.
In the final games of the season, Minnesota, even some plays in New England,
Right.
he killed that seam, and that's what you really want from Charles Clay. He wasn't healthy the entire season. You're probably going to be able to re-sign him at a more team-friendly
Exactly.
deal. I'm giving him a 2-year, $8 million deal and saying, Charles, let's see if you can get it to the next level.
Right, and the thing about Charles is 4 seasons, 1 good season. He was sitting behind Fasano his first 2 seasons, so that's, to your point, that should help the friendly,
But
the
I
team
don't know if
talk.
this is a bad season. I mean, if you look at Charles Clay's numbers, 58 catches, 605 yards, 3 touchdowns. He missed 2 games and was playing not healthy for the entire season.
Yeah.
Is that a bad year for a guy
It's-
who's playing on a bad knee that has to be surgically repaired?
It's not a bad season, it's just not a good enough season. Just like with a lot of these guys.
I mean, that's the whole
players
team.
and coaches.
If
Right,
you look
players and
at if you
coaches.
look at this whole team, where do they stack up statistically and everything? 15th, 16th,
Right.
17th,
Right.
20th. I mean, what are they really good at?
Right. Yeah.
And when you have a team that statistically is the 14th best quarterback, when you have a team that's statistically middle of the pack, how are you expecting better than 8 and 8?
Right, exactly. And you get what you pay for, pretty much. And here's a question from Derek Hess, and Derek wants to know, what are the not so obvious target positions for next season's draft?
Give me a damn fullback.
Listen, fullback. Really?
My biggest issue with Joe Philbin's team, too finesse.
Right.
When you need to run out the game with a 4-minute offense, you're 3 and out because you ain't got no power to you. When you need to get tough yards in the red zone.
Yeah, that goal line stand against Green Bay. You couldn't score from the 6-yard line.
You need to become more physical, more of a man's team, and stop this whole finesse foolishness. And to me, go get a fullback. Now, obviously, I want a quarterback drafted. I don't want him drafted high, but you need to start developing somebody younger, somebody cheaper, somebody with more upside, and that's just not happening as long as Matt Moore's here. And I don't have a problem with Matt Moore coming back. What I am saying is whether Matt Moore comes back or not, you need to have a young gun ready just in case something happens to Ryan Tannehill. Because look what happened to Nick Foles this year.
Right. And Matt Moore comes back at what, $4 or $5 million?
He ain't come back at 4. I'm not paying Matt Moore $4 million.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
Matt.
right.
I love Matt.
Right.
But Matt, you might get 3.
Oh yeah, exactly. You got
2.5. Probably. My opening offer's 2.5.
You got to negotiate a big cut for Matt Moore, but he should be open to it though.
Matt,
he likes it here.
Here's the thing: Matt likes it here, and Matt does not want to learn another offense. He's learned, I believe, 6 offenses in his lifetime.
Right.
And certainly he's
From
been in the
Carolina
NFL for quite a while. But I mean, after you've learned 6 offenses, this is
pull the plug. Right. Pull the plug. Right. And as far as a fun question here, this comes from the man. Who else should a fun question come from? Right, the man. Which team performed worse this year, the Miami Hurricanes or the Miami Dolphins?
I'm throwing a challenge flag on Al Golden. Listen.
Yeah, 6 and 7.
With
and lose
10
the ball
draft
game.
with 10 draft picks on your team.
Yeah.
You are a horrible coach. And listen.
Hold off on that one.
No.
Horrible. Well,
Horrible.
Look,
Your defense that you've been running, a 3-4 defense,
Right.
without the pieces for a 3-4 defense, has been gassed every season you've been here.
Yep.
When have you won a bowl game? When have you produced a satisfactory 9-win season?
No, look, I mean, yeah,
That's not even good.
Right, last year was 9 wins. It wasn't satisfactory. But I'll say this. I think that one of the big things that people overlook with UM is that, yes, you have a lot of players drafted, but what about the other guys? What about the number 3 receiver?
This is the first time they have a lot of players drafted.
Yeah, that's true.
Listen.
But people
a lot of
see
players.
all
Clyde
the,
Warford.
Right.
Was he utilized properly?
I don't. That's not my
Some
point.
of the other receivers on the team. No.
My point is, I don't think the talent overall is as good as people think it is at UM. You see the top end players, but what about those middle of the road
Coach
players?
them up.
Well,
Make them better.
Look, you're not even good enough to win the ACC Coastal Division, right? I mean,
You should have won it. However, I will say this, and this is my biggest gripe with UM, and there are players like Clyde Warford who has improved since he's been there. Denzel Perryman, I liked him better as a true freshman playing on the field than as a senior. What the hell happened?
I feel the same way about Walford. Because look, when Perryman and Walford came in, these guys were studs. I mean, you could see NFL all over them, and I don't think that their final year at UM matched their initial year at UM. So whether they went backward or not, I don't know. But I'm not. I think Golden is about an average coach. I wouldn't call him terrible. That's where I would throw a challenge flag on you. I wouldn't call him terrible or horrible, whatever you use.
Does he belong at UM?
No.
Where does he belong? I don't even know if he belongs at Temple.
Well, I've seen that. You're going hard on this man.
Listen, change is needed at the University of Miami.
I won't doubt that. I just take exception to he's a terrible or horrible coach. I think he's probably an average coach
What's
at
good
a
about him?
program that needs above average coach.
What's redeemable about him as a coach? He could talk well?
Well, I think that Al Golden has gotten you some decent talent, and I don't know.
He recruits well. Okay.
Some decent talent. Look,
congratulations to you. You recruit well. It's nice enough to get you to 6 and 7. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yeah, but look again. You're
gonna blame it on the players again? Yes, I know. It's always with the players with Chris Perkins.
Hey, it's a talent issue. It's a talent league. So that's the way I'd look at it.
Well, that's it for this season's X's and Omar. We'll be back during free agency and the draft, as you all know. If you're interested in finding X's and Omar, you can find the replay on sunsentinel.com. If you're looking for more material, we've certainly got a lot of material on Sun Sentinel. We pride ourselves in that. Right. You can find my first and 10 interview with Dolphin safety Don Jones on sunsentinel.com. Thank you for coming and appreciate all your support this season. We know the Dolphins let you down, but hopefully me and my partner here, we didn't let you down at Sun Sentinel. Thank you for coming.